treading the road marked faith, but sometimes it appears anonymous, filling applications like astronomers to the point I can see myself reaching the precipice. To peek into the great beyond where my name rings with such eminence. Sometimes these rhymes climb so high it takes a few days to see it. The cold gets so numbing that it takes a few days to feel it. Driven in the premise, but my mode remains on mad scientist. Bird brain with the screws loose, seeing comets between the stars like a flying fish. Though taken to the quiet as blood oath for moments of silence like a ventriloquist. But then it's too late, now you can't touch this, for my tongue twist shall make you reminisce. Greetings everyone, greetings, Alex here, tuning in from humbly abode. Man, so many mountains, hills and mountains today, if I'm honest with you. I had a beautiful experience today with somebody as a guest, and I really wanted everyone to kind of listen to what she has to say. Unfortunately, the file was corrupted in the end, and I wasn't able to put it out. First and foremost, I want to just acknowledge this person. Firstly, she's a writer, an author, and journalist. Her name is Amy L Bernstein. It was a great interview, and so I'm so disappointed I don't have this interview to show. But as you know, they say the show must go on, and so I think I just want to give this whole experience justice in a sense by just acknowledging it, and also just sharing I'm going to share my version of things and a little bit about her and accomplishments, and perhaps I would encourage people that are listening to have a look and see more of what she has out there. I think it's definitely worth looking into and support if you can. I would implore you to. Award-winning The Nighthawkers was one of her first novels. Dreams of Songtimes and Fran, the second time around. Not only that, but her nonfiction book, Wrangling the Doubt Monster, Fighting Fears, Finding Inspiration. And this book will be published in time to come, specifically next year. And I think it's something that a lot of creative will be able to resonate with and take a lot of gems from what I heard of it. I'll speak on that a little bit more. She's also an award-winning journalist, speechwriter, playwright, certified nonfiction book coach. Yes, indeed. Quite the resume. And rightfully so, from my experience of what our discussion was about. But as you know, I like to read everything twice. So let me just go into this quote again, and then I'll break it down. Treading the road marked faith, but sometimes it appears anonymous. Filling applications like astronomers to the point I can see myself reaching the precipice, to peek into the great beyond where my name rings with such eminence. Sometimes these rhymes climb so high it takes a few days to see it. The cold gets so numbing that it takes a few days to feel it. Driven in the premise, but my mode remains on mad scientist. Bird brain with the screws loose, seeing comets between the stars like a flying fish. Though taken to the quiet as blood oath for moments of silence like a ventriloquist. But then it was too late, now you can't touch this, for my tongue twist shall make you reminisce. Yes, indeed. This is the quote for today, and always, as I say, just a snip of the whole thing. Just something, a brain teaser, if you will, that people can resonate with. Hence why we read it twice. And you know, when it comes to this one, I thought it was appropriate for what we had in mind to kind of pretty much discuss and speak about. And the theme of this piece really was it is about self-doubt for me. And I thought it was important to take some time to break down some of the lines, treading the road marked faith, but sometimes it appears anonymous. And for me, I think, faith is a big part of, trying to accomplish or be accomplished. And I find a lot of times we get wrapped up in just kind of labeling what is, as opposed to speaking to the journey that is. And I suppose this is me just taking some time to really express more upon the journey. And in this sense, with what we're speaking about, as I was about to say, going into it, it's just when it starts with faith. And of course, faith is like one of the variables, the constant variables that needs to be necessary. However, it's not always as, let's just say life is not always as we want it to be. And so I think this is apropos when it comes to faith specifically. I mean, in this sense, I'm using faith as in like something tangible, something we can see, something we can touch, something we can rely upon. However, as we know, certain things like this, let's just say, let's work with that premise. Something we can see, and however, at some point that label doesn't do it justice anymore. When you're on this journey sometimes, and the label doesn't do it justice anymore, it's almost like faith is not recognized as being faith anymore. It becomes something else. It becomes something alien, something we are not privy to the transformation of such. And I think that can be a telling factor in the case that is when we reach a place where we no longer resonate with our cause or resonate with the journey, because this is a journey, this is a path, and it's important that you do resonate with it. So these are some of the thoughts that came to mind. I thought it was interesting to break down, questions. Do you have a path in your life, or does a path exist that, if ever comes to that extent, it's worth dying for? And not in the literal sense, almost like I'm willing to die on a hill for this path. I suppose that's the way I'm trying to go about putting it. Is it worth dying for? Because to me personally, I think in this sense, that is something. Well, speaking personal, let's make it personal. So for me, being what I do, I think this is a hill that I would want to die on, in a figurative term, in a sense, because this is a path, and this path, it's almost like the more, I think everybody can relate to this, where the more you do what you're supposed to do, the more it resonates with you, the more, everything just makes sense. And I've said in the past where it's almost like you have a career and you have a job. And career, you wake up every day, you look forward to doing it. A job, you do it, but it's just sometimes it just doesn't connect as well. Maybe it don't connect at all. There's these factors to ponder and think about. And so this is the question: is your path that you're on, whether it's chosen or unchosen, but it's still your path, so is it like a hill that's worth dying on? I suppose is where I'm trying to take this. And for me, I would say yes to that question. What has been a creative done in terms of fulfillment? Or should I say, what has treading your path done in terms of fulfillment? Because in my experience, I find it's one of those pivotal things to self-growth, happiness, worth, everything just makes more sense. Everything falls into place. Now, as we know, everybody's path is different, but I would argue that when the path chosen is the correct one, I think everything falls in place around it. I think that's one of the big telling factors that you're on the right path and everything is correct or is going in the right direction. Definitely, for me, in my opinion, or one could argue what is, but yes, definitely. That's where I'm at with that one. And it's different for everyone, but I would implore you, if you're that person that haven't found that path for yourself, I think it's important you take time to not only discover it, but start to explore it. It's very important in life, I think. It's very important in life. From what I've seen, you have people that, let's just say general. Now remember, having a path is a very personal, specific, unique type of thing. And so that for men, especially, let's just say men and women, a lot of men, I would say, for the most part, enjoy creating. I think I fall into that myself. Creating and giving back, well, that's the next level, I would argue. Giving back, because as I've mentioned before, first you do for self, and then there's an evolution, and you start to do for somebody else, or you do for others. And I think that's a beautiful path, but it's one of those things that's it's a natural evolution, I think, along that path. I think you know what, I'm gonna stick with just that, because when it comes to men, I'm pretty much quite the expert in that field. I don't like to speak too much on what I don't know. I don't really want to turn it into a stats thing, but yes, definitely that's where I want to stick to the point, the subtopic at hand. And yes, definitely. But on the other side, I spoke with Lady Amy L. And by the way, I will leave a link. So anyone that's curious can go and check out her sites, her information, and a lot of the stuff that she has going on. I think definitely worth checking out. But I heard an excerpt of what she wrote. The book's called Wrangling the Doubt Monster. And I would say, especially for creatives, it's definitely a book that would creative people would resonate with, especially if you're on the path, such as myself, or you're trying to get into it. I've met a lot of creative recently that's really trying to discover and find that place for themselves. And I think it's something I would definitely recommend. However, in essence, what I'm trying to say at the end of the day, I think one of the main things I wanted people to get from this whole discussion is more the journey taken and the exploration of the obstacles that may arise, but also the tools tackled and the overcoming of such. But first, the information is the matter, as they say. I think what you're writing and will be putting out there will matter. And that's part of the path as well. Actually embracing everything that comes with what you choose to do in life. Everything matters. So invest in yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it for you. And give yourself a chance to grow, evolve, so you can do it for somebody else. Who knows? This person could actually be a relative, a loved one. You just don't know. But nothing along this line happens unless you make that choice. Thank you everyone for listening. And by the way, I believe I will have another chance to do another interview in the future with Amy L Bernstein. So I'll keep you posted on that. But lots more to come. And as I said, I always like to say thanks to everyone for supporting and tuning in. Till next time, take care.